Afternoon, guys. Had a very, very, very funny day today, and met a couple of really lovely people. Did finish my computer work, and then had a really nice elderly gentleman asked to come and see one of my project saws, which he's heard about from a friend. One of my casters, one of the little caster 40s, so the little caster C40, same as the Alpina, same factory, Conegliano, Italy, top handle and conventional, just so you can run it double trigger. Really lovely guy. Had some parts for this as well. So he said he was interested in something slightly more powerful than what he has now. I said, okay, what are you running now? So he's got a steel 181. I really like those saws. I really like them. Small capacity, obviously, but I really like the saw. And he's got a sort of 41, a 41, Husqvarna 41. I like those as well. They're not, you know, they're only, they're okay. They're okay. So he was looking at the caster saw, and then he said, you've had a couple of other saws out because somebody else was coming over and wanting to try out a 61 or the 162, you know, the professional version of the 61. And he said, I'll try a bigger saw. I said, if you try something bigger, I said, you're going to love it. I said, you're just going to want to buy it. I said, and I said, I'd stick with the project saws, the one you're interested in. No, he said, I'd like to try it. I said, okay. I said, he saw a couple of the other saws and then picked up the 602. Okay, so, he's a spectacular saw. So any of you know these mid-70s saw, nominal 60cc, and interestingly share the same stroke as the Alpina 55 and the Partner R16. They're 36mm stroke, 46mm piston, and obviously 44 on those. And this saw is they are. So obviously they're spectacular engines, and they, you know, for something which is 40 and 50 years old, these are mid-70s, 1975 I think, or 76 of these. And so he was looking around this saw and absolutely loved it, and then ended up picking up an Alpina 70. I said, definitely, I said, don't pick up the Alpina 70 and say you want to cut with it. I said, because I said, the minute you pick up an Alpina 70, I said, people that use them, they love them so much. I said, I absolutely love them. I said, that's why I have a few of them. And he laughed at the number I have. And okay, the long and the short was he cut 2 discs, put it through a 3rd disc, said, yep, he said, this is the one. I said, okay. So guys, if you got your eyes set on a saw, don't try something professional if it's older and bigger CC, because you just want to buy them. They're just fantastic. So, and I'd say about the other chap another time, but he's funny as well. So somebody came for a caster 40 and has gone with an Alpina 70, and I've had a couple of people message about the 070. So this is the early version of the Alpina 70. These are about a mid-70s saw. Very hard to get exact dates for Alpina as well. Literature is sketchy, although I have the IPLs for these. And so 51mm piston, odd size really for a saw. There's only a few saws with that size piston. 51mm piston, unusual stroke, 34.5mm stroke, 70 cc's, and on paper can run up to well, it's interesting. On one of the pieces of Alpina literature I have, they say 18 inches And then if you look at something like the Super Pro, they say 22-inch bars, and I actually have one running with a 24-inch bar. So this girl is fitted with a 18-inch period solid nose, never cut with this saw. We're going to change that today for a couple of people that messaged. So brand new 75 LPX Oregon chain, full chisel chain, devil of a thing to look at, spectacular. Running the Tensmatic chain tensioning system, which I love, which is I think it's not really too dissimilar to the quick release settings of some of the steel, the 181s, or the with the C designation at the back, where you can just slacken off and then just twist and then tighten. These, you literally undo the two nuts, and then as the tension comes off and you pull the chain, you'll see that the slack gets taken up by the high tension spring, and you nip them back up again and you're good to go. I absolutely love it. So fully automatic oiler, unusual solid handle mount at the back on this version, AV mount at the front, beautiful mint knuckle guard. So this is in the Alpina yellow with the black finished knuckle guard, and this engine's an absolute brute. Funny, sometimes I start these engines and I forget to put on throttle lock because they've got so much compression and they're in such amazing condition. They're just starting without the need for throttle lock. Beautiful handle wrap, all mag alloy construction, and right, horsepower figure wise, ever so hard to get an accurate figure. So, and some of the Italian paperwork is a little bit like some of the earlier Macs, is very optimistic with power. Very optimistic with power. So she isn't 6 horsepower, and she's, I would think she's very similar to the might edge actually the 61s, the Husky 61s, around the 4 horsepower mark. I would say she must be probably around the 4.5 horsepower mark, if that's the benchmark. They run a 48mm piston and a 34mm stroke. This is running a 51mm piston and a 34.5mm stroke, so, and a very aggressive engine. So it's fun. Today is the first day to cut with this girl. I obviously cut with lots of Alpinas, and I have lots of her sisters and brothers out here as well. Let's call them all sisters. I much prefer that. Okay. We'll take a couple of discs, and can't wait to see how this girl performs. I've got several Alpinas which I cut with, but this is one of the earlier ones, which was unusual because she was rigid handle at the back with an AV mount at the front, and that is this is one of, again, sister company, Caster. Made in the same factory. This is the 070. This is designated the Caster C70. Quite rare in the Caster orange to see this girl. Some slight casting changes, but the whole bodywork all exactly the same, except this one's rigid handle back and rigid handle front. So she's an unusual denomination, the 07 I have there, and slightly different knuckle guard, same bar fitment, same Tensmatic fitment. Different caps on top for the fuel and for the air filter housing, but all the same fitment, and same pulls on the flywheel, etc. Just a slight different cosmetic look. Still a thing of absolute beauty. This girl's in amazing condition. Right. So I don't know if she's going to be lean or she's going to need adjusting. Have a screwdriver there for the mixture screw. Let's see what this girl performs like. case, I picked that piece because it's got these double knots running through it. Just spectacular cutting machine. Wow, absolutely spectacular. It's wow, it's warm today. Let's move there. Hang on, there. Okay. Let's take a few more discs. What a beautiful running engine. Ah. Dare say she could be leaned out. She could be leaned out slightly with a decent RPM checker, although she cuts absolutely fantastic. And very interesting as well on the gearing for some of the older saws, which probably maybe a lot of people will be aware of, but on lots of the, I say they're more modern, but you know, the ones which I have, it's like 20-30 years old, tend to be running 7-tooth sprockets. These girls, for instance, are running 8-tooth sprockets, and so you know, if you've got a chain speed of 20, well, let's do nice easy maths. If you've got a chain speed of 21 meters per second running your 7-tooth with your 8-tooth, you're going to be having another 7th. Yep, so like 24 meters per second. So they belie, their cutting capacity is fantastic. So here she is, that's the Alpina 070. Hope that answers a few of the questions. Yes, she does have the original Italian stamped handle, and the only two things which, well, they can't be original, but I don't have the part numbers for this particular one to get. The two AV mounts at the front, at the top, are different, so one of those must be wrong, presumably. They're all tight, and it's absolutely beautiful, but that's good to be aware of. Everything else is absolutely flawless and running beautifully. Just a gorgeous running saw. I wonder if we can try to think what else we could put through slightly bigger. And before I forget, a dear old friend has asked me to sell his Oregon bench grinder, chain grinder, really expensive as well, the Oregon kit. So I screwed it on earlier today onto top of this log, so I shall hopefully do a video of that thing running. I already have quite a modern one which I don't use. I tend to file by hand, and so as attractive as they are, it won't be for me, but it's I said I'd sell it for him, so I'll show that running later. That's a genuine Oregon chain sharpener bench grinder. Is there anything else, guys, we can cut with slightly bigger? Okay, maybe we can find move the 162. Okay, hang on then. Let's put right. Well, that's a gnarly piece of spruce. Okay, we'll cut this one. This will be fun. guys, thanks for watching. That is the ever impressive 070, and I really can't tell if there's any performance difference between this and the later Super Pro 70, and they all share the same internals. I say that, but then actually the P700 is different. That's a nominal 70, but that's only a 68cc from Alpina. So, but for the most part, the same internals as all the later variations. Beautiful cutting machine. Oh. So today's top tip, guys: if you go out to look at one saw and you see something bigger, older, professional, in great condition, don't try it. You will definitely end up buying it. Bye for now.